Hey guys, so today's video is a tutorial on the look that I'm wearing right now. It's a very fall look, very warm toned with a dark lip. Um, Thought that it'd be good to do a video to welcome the season of fall. This is my first tutorial that I've ever done, and fall is my favorite season, so I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about how this makeup look turned out. It's sparkly and glam and girly, but also a little grungy with the dark lip, and I really like it. So if you like it too and you want to see how I got this look, then just keep watching.
Alright, let's get started. I am starting with Urban Decay's Primer Potion in the shade Original, and I'm just blending that onto my eyelids with my fingertips to prime my eyes. Then I'm using a pressed powder just to set that down so it's not too tacky and my eyeshadows will blend nicely with it. I'm taking the Modern Renaissance palette by Anastasia and going into Raw Sienna, and I'm taking that on a fluffy brush and I'm just blending it into my crease. I'm blending back and forth and up pretty high towards my brow just to diffuse it. I want this look to be smoky, so I'm just going to keep blending until I get it to the intensity that I want it to be. Next, I'm taking the shade Burnt Orange, and on the same brush, I'm putting that a little bit lower in my crease to add warmth and depth to my eye. I'm also blending it into that other color just to blend everything out and make it seamless. Then I'm taking Red Ochre and I'm focusing that more on my outer corners, but dragging it into the crease a little bit. I'm not going to take it all the way into the inner corner, just to about the middle, to give this a little more of a red tone to it. It'll blend really nicely with our lid color. And then I'm just using it to map out the shape that I want for my eye as well. And then I'm going over that and I'm just blending everything in together so that it has a seamless transition. Then I'm taking Colourpop Shadow in the shade Lala, and I'm using my fingertips to apply that as my lid color. I go over it a few times, layering it until I get the intensity that I want and the sparkle that I want from it. This is a really beautiful rose gold color that pairs really nicely with the red and orange tones that I did with the rest of my eye. And then I'm just taking a different brush and blending that Red Ochre shade into the Lala. And then I'm taking the lightest color Tempera in the palette and I'm just putting that on my brow bone as a highlight. And then instead of liner, I'm using the color Cypress Umber for a bit of a smoky line on top of my lash line. Then I'm starting my face. I'm using Nivea's Men's Post Shave Balm as my primer. It works pretty nicely to keep my makeup on all day, so I just rub that into my face and then I start with my foundation. I'm using the Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade 120 and I'm putting that on my beauty blender and just bouncing it into my skin. I like to use the circular end of the beauty blender for my foundation and the pointy end for my concealer. I just like how the larger end disperses the product more. I'm just building the coverage until I get it as covered as I want it to be, covering all my redness on my cheeks and on my nose. And then I'm concealing with Maybelline's Fit Me Concealer in the shade Light. And I'm just using that to both conceal and highlight my under eyes and then highlight the bridge of my nose, my forehead, and my cupid's bow, as well as my chin. And then, like I said, I'm going to blend that in with the pointed end of my beauty blender, and I'm just going to go back and forth until everything's blended in. I like to go in both directions under my eye so it does not crease. After that's done, I'm taking the Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder and I'm just setting everywhere I put the concealer. Because this is a matte foundation and my skin's sort of dry, I don't want to set my entire face, just the places that are concealed. And then for my eyebrows, I'm taking Anastasia's brow powder in the shade Soft Brown, and I'm just using that to fill in my brows. I brush the product out after I fill it in just so it looks a little more natural. And then I'm using L'Oreal's Brow Stylist Plumper just to set my brows. And then I'm going back into the color Raw Sienna on a definer brush, and I'm using that for my lower lash line. I'm going to use Cypress Umber as well and just place that on the outer corner, very, very close to my lash line. And then I'm going to blend everything together and smoke it out. Then I'm taking a combination of Vermeer and Primavera from the palette and using that as my inner corner highlight just to brighten things up. Then I'm curling my lashes and applying some mascara. I'm using Falsies by Maybelline. And then I'm going to start bronzing my face with the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer. I'm just going to warm up the cheekbones, under my chin, and the top of my forehead so that it goes nicely with the warm eye look that we did. Then using the NYX blush in the shade Pink the Town, I'm just going to add a little bit of a rosy hue to my cheeks, and then I'm highlighting with Colourpop's Lunch Money. And I'm just taking that on my fingers to blend it out onto my cheekbones, and I put a little bit on the tip of my nose too. And then I'm taking the Colourpop lipstick in the shade Grunge just to add a little bit of a grungy dark lip to it. I like this color because it's not too warm, but it's not too cool, and it really ties all the shades really nicely together, and it makes for a really nice autumnal look. And after that, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this look, and I'll see you next time.